Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
Daniel. Still got allergies. Yeah.
You want me to taste it for you?
No.
If you can't smell or taste,
No,
don't waste the whiskey.
It's all in my throat. It's not in congestion.
Which is exactly where the whiskey's going, which is exactly my point.
No, I can smell and I can taste.
Right.
I just got a scratchy throat.
We'll see. I may need
We'll
to
see.
confiscate your whiskey. What do we have?
Look, on this round, I may want you to confiscate my whiskey. This is Sokolov Solod, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correct. It's Russian. It's Russian whiskey from James Bricker and Larissa Erickson.
James Bricker and Larissa Erickson, you magnificent
Bastard!
So this is, for the life of me, because I don't speak Russian, I should have called William Hackett Jones.
Are we doing both of them?
Yeah, I should have called William Hackett Jones. He could have translated everything for us. Barnaul, Russia. This is northeast border of Kazakhstan. Literally, the location of this place is the only thing I know. This is as far as I can figure, some small, like basically home brewer that's now trying to sell his own stuff.
Yeah.
And he's graduated to maybe a little bit more commercial. He is calling this a straight bourbon whiskey. Now, the only way that that's legal is that this was not sold in America. Which means somebody brought this from Russia because it says straight bourbon whiskey on the bottle.
Hold on.
And that's about as illegal in America as it gets.
If an American distillery imports a spirit that was made in another country that meets all the criteria of bourbon.
Nope, not bourbon.
And then they bottle it here, then it's not bourbon.
No, it's still not bourbon.
Here.
Bourbon has to be made here.
Okay.
Bourbon is the one that has all these serious regulations as opposed to the rye and the malts
And
the blends and yeah. So this is not bourbon.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is he made it with corn.
Are you saying
American corn?
Are you saying
So this is a bourbon style whiskey aged with white ashwood.
Okay.
I don't know anything else about it because I can't speak Russian and translate
So on the nose,
stuff he was saying.
definitely getting some like floral whiskey. Almost, I would say like it's a floral malt. Before I would ever say bourbon.
Yeah, but I'm still getting, behind the sort of musty note in here, I'm still getting some of those like candy cherry.
Yeah.
Way back
That's
there.
there too. But I'm thinking the dominant note for me is this floral, almost a malty floral. And
Oh.
on the taste,
Yeah, I think he proofed it down too fast.
what would that do?
Or something. He did something. Because there's these soap notes in there. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if that's the ashwood.
that could either come in from him trying to hyper-age things with certain things that you'd put in there, or it could be that he proofed it down too quickly. But this is 43. Yeah, he proofed it down. If you proof heavy oil spirit down too fast, you can end up with what's called saponification, which is where the rush of water into these chemicals fractures and creates a new chemical line that has these soapy flavors to it.
On the first few moments of the taste, I'm getting exactly what I expect from them. There's this nice, sweet floral, but then it does shift a gear, and it turns into like a bitter
Soap.
kind of, some soapiness in there.
We're going to try his other one.
Okay.
This one I'm a little more nervous about.
Yeah, that had a moment of promise, and then it went,
slightly sideways.
Not too pleasant direction.
I don't know what to compare these to because this is not Rare Whiskey Friday. I was just going to see if we could find a craft guy in Russia doing something similar to a craft guy in America.
Right.
But that's totally unique. So this is called Roast and Brew, single malt, brewed for 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
And then
I don't know if
he's using extra peated barley, and he says whiskey aged with white ashwood again, and then original brewing aging technology, whatever the hell that means. And again, 43%.
The brewing that I've been around, what part of the process would be improved by doing it longer?
Well, I don't know entirely.
Because I've been around like home brewers,
Yeah.
big brewing operations behind the scenes, and I've actually been there while they're doing the entire thing from beginning to end. And
There's a certain point at which the yeast dies,
yeah,
and then it's over.
and there's a certain point whenever you are cooking the grains, right, heating the grains to release the sugars, and then that reaches a point of critical mass, I guess, where you're not going to get any more out of the grain.
Right.
And then the yeast, to your point, you put the yeast in, the yeast only going to be able to get so much, and then the yeast conks out.
I don't know. If I spoke Russian, maybe I could figure it out. Well, it smells like peated barley for sure. This smells like the peated grain bags in our warehouse.
But it's it's not a heavy, dense, smoky peatiness.
No.
It's like a brighter, lighter, almost an herbal peat, if that makes sense on the nose.
Oh, once again, starts with an interesting, really peaty direction and then turns into soap.
It's like 3 seconds in.
Dude, you gotta quit crash proofing this thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's got some. Wow, come on, man.
All right, so we're just drinking the blend that Jared created when we were hanging out with him that day. It's now been settling for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Peated, heavily peated. Malt.
Yeah, there was 3 things blended together. Mm-hmm. DJ Bish 90. Hey all, I'm part of a little whiskey club at work in which we all pitch in a bit of money to get to try some new whiskeys we wouldn't normally buy for ourselves. Sometimes they're rare or experimental, sometimes they're just our favorites. This week is my pick, and I'd like to change things up a bit. I want to bring in a white whiskey, as well as the same whiskey, but aged.
Oh, I love that idea.
I want to be able to try them side by side so you can really find the flavor of the barrel and what aging does to the whiskey. Does anyone have any good recommendations? As a price point, there's generally 12 of us who pitch in $10 each, so you got about $120 to work with. So, as he's pulling out stuff in the comments, do you know of a whiskey where you can get the new make and then the exact same whiskey just, aged in a barrel?
The 2 that you're most likely to be able to find wherever the heck you are, Buffalo Trace sells a new make, and then you can buy the Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Okay.
And Dickel sells a new make, and then you can buy the Dickel. Try mine.
Oh, that's super good.
I'm just saying.
What is that finish?
It's the bitter chocolate finish.
Bitter chocolate.
With a little bit of
finish.
smoke.
A little bit of smoke, and then there's like a sugar on top of it too.
Like a dark cherry. I'm saying.
We're not reviewing.
No. We're just enjoying now. Because we gave up on the Russians.
Here's dividing, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.